Our radio and TV ads give RE/MAX brand recognition that translates directly into buyers choosing RE/MAX agents. Many of those buyers are starting to come from one of the biggest untapped demographics in the new market, Generation Y buyers. Gen Y, the age group born between 1979 and 1994, is second in size only to the baby boomers. Elaine VonCannon with RE/MAX Capital in Williamsburg, Virginia, helps agents understand how generational trends affect the real estate market.
I do commercial, I do property management, I do residential. I don't have a niche. My niche is real estate. That's my niche. I'm very professional, I know my job, I know my business, but I want you to feel like I'm not going to sell you a house or sell you a property that I wouldn't put my own mother in.
Elaine VonCannon will tell you lots of things that she is. Something she isn't, you'll probably get on your own. She isn't shy, which has helped her with customers of all ages. She's a fan of the social networks and has assistants who help her keep current on lots of them.
I depend on my girls to run my back office, and I do the client. I'm out in the field.
Elaine has strong viewpoints on many subjects and writes about them.
People don't have time to read newspapers. They're not going to pick up a book half the time. They might if they're at the doctor's office and they're bored. Okay? Especially the up-and-coming buyers, Generation X and Y, they're going to hit that internet. And I write articles on real estate, and they're published, and that is what generates me. It's a lot of leads is my article writing and my blogging. They're on my website. And when you publish them on the internet, they go to a lot of different portals. People go in when they're researching, and they'll read my articles. I write articles because I feel like real estate should not be, you're going to get a root canal at the dentist. I think a buyer and seller should be, they don't do this every day, I do. They should be informed, they should know what they're doing, they should have at least a general knowledge of the transaction. So then they're comfortable. If you get somebody comfortable with doing something, you got half your battle won.
Elaine is on board with social networking applications because
I get referrals because I do all my marketing on the internet. Strictly internet. I get leads from this.
Many of those leads are younger generation buyers and sellers. Technically savvy clients that Elaine says still want personal touch service.
When you have a client and they are nervous or they don't understand something, they want to pick that phone up and they don't want, I will get back with you in 24 hours, call me from 9 to 5, which I've heard on some agents. They want to call me at 10 o'clock at night and I go, hi honey, how are you? How can I help you? That's what they want. You have to make that contact and that connection between you and that person. And if you don't make that connection, you've lost your client.
Elaine VonCannon has no intention of losing clients. She has support staff to help her manage her business, and she knows how her Generation X and Y clients like to communicate.
If you're going to work with younger buyers at any point in time, you better know your research. You better not try to pull nothing on them. You better know exactly what you're talking about. And if you don't, you better tell them you don't, but you'll find out. Generation X and Ys, they're not loners. They're socials. That's why the social network is so big right now. They are social creatures. They like their social networking.
We're going to hear a lot more about that as we speak with Elaine, who's here in studio with us. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's make sure we understand the terminology. Gen X, born between 1961 and 1979.
Correct.
And then Gen Y, who were born between 1979 and 1994. And
correct.
We talked about this a little bit. The Gen Y is normally the children of the baby boomers, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how much they were into the family thing, because
okay.
you have some baby boomers now that have second families, and
okay.
they have Gen Y children, but then you have my son as a Gen X.
Okay.
So it just depends on
how soon you started having babies.
yeah, when you decided you were in love.
Okay. That's good. Just wanted to get some terminology down. So let's look at an example. What would be a challenge for an agent who happens to be a baby boomer but is trying to draw buyers and sellers from Gen Y? What would be some challenges for them?
All right, actually, baby boomers relate to Gen Y a lot easier than Gen X's. The baby boomers we were the Vietnam War protesters. We're burning our bras, we're burning everything we can find inside, we are not going to do it. Generation X is a lot like that. They're very rebellious, okay? Gen Ys are not. Gen Ys wants the approval. They want you. Whenever I do a Gen Y, they always bring out their families to approve of what they did. So we might show a property to them about 5 times, even though they wrote on it, because the mama wants to see it, the grandma has to see it, the friends have to see it. They are the social butterflies, the social acceptance. That's why most of them have more than one Facebook account, and they are judged by how many friends they have on Facebook.
Okay, well, speaking of social media, obviously in the story, we saw that you're very involved with that, and you've actually hired someone to help you make sure you're staying up to date and stay in contact with all of your friends, etc. What is your view on, obviously you feel it's quite important. Tell me a little bit about how you came to that opinion and how that's helped you.
Okay, I have a Slovakian, I have a Ukrainian, and I have Tammy, who's African American, and Sue.
As your assistants?
As my assistants. Okay. My assistants, they're like doing that. I said, what are you doing, honey? We're Skyping. What's a Skype? Okay, they're talking to people all over the world. So what? We got a camera. So now I Skype. And I have clients in England, and I Skype them. So I'm like, all right, this is good. What are y'all doing now? Oh, we're on Facebook. Well, tell me about this. So they start telling me about this stuff. And I said, well, you know, if they're doing it, there must be a lot of other people doing it. So therefore, maybe I should do this. So I just watch what they're doing. That's why all my staff for ages have always been wise.
Oh. In lots of different areas, so that they can help you bring information to you and knowledge.
They were brought up teething on a keyboard, okay? I didn't learn computers till I was 40 years old. And then I sit down in front of a computer. I'm 57, by the way, and y'all should tell me I don't look it. But I sit down in front of a computer and like, oh my God, I'm gonna blow this thing up. This is not good, you know. So I do good to email and I write and I blog, but then we're done, and I don't want to do anything else. You know, I understand it, but I don't want to do it. It's not my expertise. So who do you hire? You hire people that cut their teeth on this stuff.
Because you understand it's important to have those people working with you so you can keep up with it. The importance of it in the marketplace.
Exactly.
So if an agent doesn't have the resources to actually have an assistant working, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week helping them, how would you, with the social media aspect of it, how would you encourage them to get involved, at least initially, to stay up to date on their social media?
First, they need a website. I don't care what anybody tells you, you need a website because, like I said in my piece, the only time you're going to pick up that real estate book is when you're waiting to get your teeth cleaned or see the doctor. They're not going to pay, and the only people that open the newspapers are your sellers who are baby boomers that want to see their house in the newspaper. Do you think that Generation Y is sitting at the table having coffee and opening the newspaper saying, gee, let's look at real estate ads? Nada, no. They are, let me see what is out there, okay? So you want to put your money, which will be very little if you can't afford an assistant, so you do your time. It doesn't cost that much to update your website weekly because you don't want it to get stale or the crawlers on the search engines aren't going to find it. It doesn't cost you much to do a blog or two. You can get a Facebook account and you just say, will you be my friend? And they're, oh, Generation Y, they love to have friends. So they'll say, yeah, I have friends all over. I mean, I have friends in France, I have friends in England, I have friends in countries, I don't even know what the names of these countries are.